Are you ready to go?
Yes.
Go for it.
Are you ready? Good morning.
Good morning, good
Nice
afternoon.
picking up to nice meeting.
Same here.
So, what does digital sovereignty mean to us?
Okay, so as a nation, digital sovereignty is, making sure that we digitalize everything that we do. We incorporate what we already have access to, in terms of using technology to make our day-to-day activities, our official activities, to make our day-to-day activities easier, our corporate lives easier. So you just have to make sure that you utilize every technology that you have access to make your day-to-day life easier. Yes.
So, how do we incorporate this into economic power for us, not just
Okay, so I think technology itself makes life easier, right? So what that means is it will help us, utilize the be more efficient, and efficiency comes with economic growth. So, for instance, we need to incorporate technology in the health sector, in the education sector, in the agricultural sector. So, there are a lot of ways we can leverage technology to, improve what we already have, and by that improvement, I mean, would have access to more open gates. We can attract foreign investors. We can attract people that will say, okay, that Nigeria is already making a headway in terms of technology. I mean, we have the strongest youth base in Africa. So I think that is one of our selling points. And economy will be boosted if we let our youth, if we give our youth access to technology and teach them the right way to use it, not just having access to it. So I think it will help in so many sectors: the education, the health, the agriculture, so many ways.
so we have a problem in Nigeria about upholding to a new development.
Of course.
Sincerely, how do you think we can sustain this?
Okay, I think it's going to take a huge job on each and every one of us, you, me, and then before we cascade that to organizations, right? Because I know that it is very bad that some institutions right now, they don't even know how to scan a QR code. So we have a lot of sensitization to do. It has to be from you, from me. You can teach your neighbors, and then before we start talking about the government parastatals, hosting events like this to tell people of how to, teach people how to actually make their life easier using technology. They should not be scared of technology. So now let's talk about AI and let's talk about robotics, right? We have people in this Nigeria that will still come and tell their children they should not associate with anything robots that is is fetish, is scary. You should not get associated. So that is not the mindset we need if we want to properly drain or properly harness the low hanging fruit when it comes to technology and digital activities. You're most welcome. Thank you.
Start by telling us your name.
My name is Hadiza. My name is Hadiza Isa Muhammad, Doctor in inshallah.
So, as a participant today, what is your big take?
My key takeaway is having everyone involved, including the stakeholders, the educational sector, the health sector, all having an avenue to be in the same place. This is one of the strengths that we need here in Nigeria to harness and see how we can build on what we have all together to make it a reality for not only Nigeria, everywhere at large. Sin- Sincerely speaking, the Nigerian government are doing a lot, but lots has to be done because if we are talking about access, we have to also look at the underserved communities. How are they getting the access? Getting access to them might sound difficult, but if we put hands together, I think it's going to be a reality. But we still need to do more and more on what we are doing, sincerely. No, no. It's a very good and welcoming development. Having to be in the same roof to talk about our challenges and see the solutions and way forward. It's a good. Um, Sincerely speaking, if we are talking about sustainability, is aligning with all the policies that we have and using them as well. So if a government comes and give a policy, one goes, I believe there should be a continuity in whatever we are doing. The good job that has been started by others should be put also for others to take it up. So we shouldn't just leave anything that is relevant due to the government changes and all. We need to see how we can continue with whatever we have on ground already with the existing one. We need to see how we can take it up so that we can be able to build more on what we have. So all we are doing is aligning with the good goals and the objectives of the government. I believe is supposed to be taken along. So whoever comes, any government that comes in should try and take up what the other government left. I think using that can be a way forward to us. Thank you. You're welcome. Huh? Okay, you can talk.
The enabling policies that are disrupting sectors and helping the continent to gain global recognition. One thing is important though, and it's not just growth, but the impact that this growth gives us. When His Excellency the Vice President spoke earlier, he mentioned MoneyPoint and Flutterwave. It's about the impact that these startups on the continent, these unicorns that have grown on the continent, are able to grow. When you look at MoneyPoint, for example, and you look at the impact they've had in moving people from the informal economy to the formal economy, look at the focus that they've done, providing jobs through agency banking, and even the support that they've given to small businesses to be able to have access to capital, access to finance, because now using the MoneyPoint systems, they're able to show their liquidity, they're able to show the flow of funds through their businesses, and so now MoneyPoint is able to offer them opportunities. And we have others, like OPay, that are also doing similar.
Cameras, phones, all
So
those
when you
kind of
look at
things.
Nigeria's
Every day, on the
startup
hour,
market,
without fail,
with
run
about
out of equipment
$9.8
before I ran
billion
out of young
invested in
people
the
that already knew how to
ecosystem,
use it. I
it
think
shows that
young
we are
Nigerians
poised
are
to
just
lead the
hungry
charge
for
on emerging tech
access to
trends across
technology
Africa.
and to be able to learn
And we are
and
positioned
develop.
to drive the future of innovation on
Actually,
the
it's a good
continent.
one because this is
Nigerian
the
entrepreneurs
digital
have become
world,
key
so
players
everyone
in
deserves to be
Africa's broader
digital.
tech ecosystem,
Yeah.
supported by
So
our
thanks very
massive
much. Thank you for
population
taking the
of
time.
over
Enjoy the rest of the
200
conference.
All right, nice. Thank you so much, sir.
And earlier, we heard how Nigeria is positioning to be the Silicon Valley of Africa.
No, that's all.
With over 2,000 tech startups. And Nigeria, till today, remains the top destination for investments. So we can conclude that the future of innovation looks bright, not just for Nigeria, but for the African component, and for the African continent. So I mentioned three groups that were important earlier for us to succeed. I mentioned government, the ecosystem, and academia. And this is why
Kemi
conferences like the
Bamiwo. I'm a
Digital Nigeria
product
International
manager,
Conference are very
and my
important
company
because it
name
helps
is
to bring all of us
PayPelta.
together
It's a fintech
to have
payment
these
solution.
conversations.
We just
And more
developed as a
importantly,
startup company.
it provides an opportunity for
Congratulations.
government to speak
Okay.
to its
So
own
why have you come to
governments
Digital
and
Nigeria
give the
today?
private sector
Okay,
an
yeah, I'm
opportunity
here
to
today
speak to
because we are
governments
part of the
about
exhibitor.
their own role.
So we will be displaying
So I'll
our
speak a little to
products,
the
our
government side, and I
features
know that a
as
lot of the conversation
a
is
fintech
the
technology
Honorable
payment
Minister
solution.
of
So we are
Communications and
yet
Digital
to
Economy
come to
spoke
the
already some of
limelight
these
for
things.
the
His
world to
Excellency the
say
Vice
what
President
we
also
have
at the DG of
done
NITIA.
and how it can be
But if we look at the
beneficial
government
to
Startup
both
Act
Africa and
and
both
the work
the
going on
world
to
at
domesticate
large.
those acts within the
Now, it was
states,
interesting that early on
3MTT
stage someone was saying that
program
about
by the Ministry
for
of
such a long
Communications,
time, Africa has been a
Information and
user
Digital
of
Economy,
technology, whereas
the
now the
Digital
time
Nigeria
feels right
program.
that Africa is able to
And I'll
invent its
also
own
mention the program
technology
that I
and
lead,
make things. So do you think
the
that your
Investment in
product's
Digital
part of
and
that,
Creative
being able to
Enterprises
lead
program,
the way
IDES.
because it's for what
This
you
is a
need
federal
and what you
government
can use in
initiative
Nigeria rather than it being something that's imported
supporting
from the
Nigeria's
global
tech
north?
and creative
Yes, of
ecosystem
course.
across
My
three core
product, like
pillars.
PayPeta,
The first
most of our
being
feature
skills and
is
enterprise
the
development,
S code,
Meaning, how do we
system which
provide the right level of
involves
skills, the right level
the
of opportunities
merchant
for
and the
startups
consumer
within the
aspect of
tech and
it,
creative
bridging that gap
sector?
of
The
insecurity.
second being
So it's going
policy.
to
How do we work with
resolve that issue
policymakers,
as well
regulators,
as
legislators
instant
to set
currency
up the right kind of
transaction.
policies and laws
Now,
that
when you are
enable
in another
startups
country
within
and you need
Nigeria?
their currency to be
But the third
converted,
and very
our
critical one is
PayPal
access
can
to finance.
instantly do that real
One of the
time
key issues faced by
forex
startups in
transaction.
Nigeria
So
is the
it's going to
opportunity
be
to finance
beneficial
their
to
startups.
Nigeria, most
Even
especially,
though I had
and
mentioned
also
earlier
neighboring
the
country in
billions raised
Africa and the world at large.
the billions
Brilliant.
raised
Now,
in
of course,
startup
when you
financing,
talk about
you find that most of this
payments
funding goes
internationally,
to
you're
startups that
talking
are
about the
already
incredible Nigerian diaspora
who
that's all
provides the
over the world,
financing for
sending money
pre-seed,
home
seed,
and
early
supporting
growth
maybe
stage
young
startups.
people that are
And that's
studying
where
in
ideas
China
comes in.
or India. And it's only
And we
when
have
you come to
pre-funds
Nigeria do
on
you
the equity
understand
side.
how
We have
Nigerians
the
move
tech
around
fund,
and how they're
which
influencing
we're
things.
now
What was
partnering with Ventures
the
Platform
rationale
Fund.
behind setting up
And
this
this tech fund will
this
invest
platform? Did
directly
you
in tech
spot an
startups.
opportunity? Did you have a
We have
really
the
bad
creative fund,
experience and think we can do
which will
better than
invest
that,
in
and then
creative
some of you
sector
got together?
startups.
Oh
And we have the
yes,
fund of funds
there was
that will
actually a bad
catalyze the
experience
setup of
in
other funds
terms
working
of
with angel
the
investors,
business
private
aspect, which is the
individuals,
business
public sector
transaction,
institutions,
whereby
and others to
consumers
set up
go to
funds that
get
will
some things
invest in
online,
startups within
and
our
at the
states
end of the day,
and
what they
provide those
order was not
opportunities.
actually what they got, and they have end up paying that money. So
So
now
these
we are
efforts
bridging that fact
outlined
that
show that the
before we
federal
pay
government
that
is
money,
committed to its
definitely
objective
you'd
of
have seen
upscaling
what
and
you have ordered for. So majorly online businesses is it will be beneficial for online businesses and online business owner. Thank you.
Fantastic. Do you ever sleep? You've got so much energy. Are you really looking forward to the next 2 days as well?
Yes, I am super ready and excited.
Lovely. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you.
Was that okay? Thank you. We're done, yeah. Yeah. So that's all right. Yeah, when you've done that, I think we should do some more interview. We should like interview.
Yes.
Yes. You. Yeah.
Okay, okay. National party, yeah.
For policy makers, like for policy makers, if you have anything that you wish for we do event apart from the event coverage, we also do partnership collaboration, amplify.
Please, another round of applause for him. He did excellent. Thank you so much for that insightful perspective on future of innovation in Africa. And when we talk about the future, of course, we have to recognize a truth that Africa doesn't follow trends, we set them. And that leads me to our next lightning talk that is going to be taken by two speakers. And the theme of that talk is Africa doesn't follow trends, we set them. Once again, my name is Kingy. I'll be one of your co-compares for the Alpha Stage event. So I'd like to invite to the stage Mr. Benjamin Ufaruna, the co-founder and CEO by Power NG on innovating access to electricity. A round of applause for him. He's coming on stage right now. Also, I'd like to invite to join him for this lightning talk, Mr. Shegun Adeni, the Chief Digital Officer, Wema Bank. A round of applause for him. All right, so they're going to talk about how Africa doesn't follow trends, we set them. So please, an encouraging round of applause for them before they start. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everyone. All protocols duly observed. My name is Benjamin Ufaruna. I'm the CEO and the co-founder of BuyPower. Thank you, Nida, for putting this together. I want to take you back to 2015 when it all started for BuyPower. So picture this. It's 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night. I'm just heading back from home, from work, after having a long day at work, writing code. I'm tired and I'm exhausted. I get to the house, I flick the lights on, but there's nothing. The power is out. Not because there is no supply from the grid, but because I forgot to buy my electricity token. I'm a software engineer and I build digital systems for a living, but I can't buy my token because of business hours. That frustration is the beginning of this story. So let me paint a picture for you of how utility payment systems in Nigeria was in 2015. So prepaid electricity requires tokens, and tokens were only sold at physical payment centers. And those physical payment centers were typically only open for limited hours, typically between 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. So if you worked regular hours, that means that you had to leave work to buy your electricity token. But it wasn't just that. The user experience was bad too. So if you go to the physical payment center, you had to stand in long queues, sometimes under the blazing sun. And it was also the fact that you had frequent network downtimes. So that means you have like downtimes and you wouldn't be able to pay for your tokens for an hour or two. And then sometimes you even had to tip the cashiers to expedite payment processing for you. And then in some payment centers, if you don't have cash, you won't be able to pay for your electricity token. So this wasn't a niche problem. This was a problem that was affecting hundreds of thousands of customers in Nigeria's capital and even millions across the entire country. So that sort of got me thinking at that time. We had the internet, we had mobile phones, we even had internet banking. So the question was, why couldn't we pay for electricity from our phones? And so I'm a big believer in the use of technology to solve local problems. So I just thought I was trying to solve that specific problem. I was trying to figure out how to use technology to solve that problem. The first step was trying to figure out, why did that status quo exist in the first place? Was it a technology issue? Was it regulatory? Was it market failure? What was driving that type of outcome? And so it was essentially the fact that the billing systems that are used by the energy companies were legacy systems, right? They're built like, long before that time. And they were optimized for in-person cash payments, not digital payments. So trying to figure it out was like, the analogy I use is like, you're trying to figure out how to build a translator between English
and a language that had no dictionary. So there were no documentations, there were no APIs, there were no integration protocols. And it took us about 8 months trying to figure out the technology aspect of that problem. But technology is just one piece of the puzzle. You still had technical business and commercial viability. So the discourse already had like payment centers, right? And either ways, they were going to get